Join us every weekend, oh, the vibe's so fine. Saturday, sit down with Mr. Drayton. Shine!
Grab a friend.
There you go. Now, if that don't wake your ass up, nothing. I love that. I love that. Very reminiscent of my childhood. I love it. Shout out to PBS and the Electric Company. And I think that was Rita Moreno actually did that. She's the Hey You Guys person. If you do not know the illustrious actress of stage, screen, and film, check her out. She also stars in that classic West Side Story. Oh, no, you don't. Happy Saturday. It's your man, the talented Mr. Drayton, a.k.a. Alice's baby boy with forever something in my beard. I don't know if it's shining or if that is food.
It's just moisturized very nicely, yes.
Thank you, because I can't reach whatever it is. It's back there. It's getting on my nerves, and I am obsessed with it. So speaking of obsessed, before we got started, I picked up a straggler that I hadn't seen this week. Yay! I talked shit about him, and he came up here. I was like, "You're not gonna sit back there and just do nothing." So, whatever, nigga. Right. So anyway, welcome to the Saturday Sit Down with your man, Gregory Talented, Mr. Drayton, as I do each and every Saturday. I drag along. I had to have a co-host because I need somebody to rein me in. So I had a plethora of talent to choose from, and I chose this guy. He's a bunker 6 feet under, 6 leagues below the sea, with a cat and a sewing machine in Tijuana. And not my favorite Tijuana, but Tijuana nonetheless. He has a wonderful chateau in South Tijuana. How are you, Swag?
I'm doing great. Having a wonderful Saturday so far.
In Tijuana.
In Tijuana with a cat and a sewing machine.
Right. And the cat has an attitude this morning. I saw him. Interesting.
Yes, he did.
He
woke up on the wrong side of the kitty box. I don't know.
He gave me the gas face. He was like, "Fuck you all." Anyway, when your cat is, but you can catch Swag here on Tuesday nights on this very network, 7 p.m. for the Swag Suite presented by M3 here. My lovelies. You know, the Afro gentleman, the aforementioned Afro gentleman at the bottom here, who is supposed to be on break. I feel bad. I'm just dragging folk all off vacation. I'm just like, bring your ass in here. Right? No. The founder of M3, Wednesday nights on 7 p.m. as well. You know, the best Afro in the business. I don't know how he maintains his Afro. Like, you know, most people at his age start balding. He has a full sprawling bush.
It's balding in the back. Is
it balding in the back?
It is. Slowly. Probably like another decade, maybe.
Oh, bitch. In the nether regions of southern Georgia, my man Malcolm the Philosopher King. You like that? The nether regions?
Yeah.
What's up?
Out in the middle of nowhere.
No, no, y'all. Listen. Y'all want the dibs on M&M's and Mars? Hit him up. He lives blocks away from the factory.
You know, the proof that we live in the middle of nowhere is that we have a military base that's strategically placed here because we're so far from any, you know, population center. So if there's a nuclear attack, we're going to be one of the last people to go.
Wow. Listen, in this climate, we got to start thinking about it. In this climate, so we very well may be broadcasting from a bunker.
Yeah, and that's like one of the ways you know that the military is gearing up for a battle is that they start moving military vehicles they store here. Basically, it's like where they store all their extra stuff.
Oh, yeah. So we got to keep you on the radar. Thank you.
People who work there, yeah, this
reporter in the field. Hopefully, they get laid off.
Oh yeah, that's where the people are gonna get mad when they get to the military and start cutting shit.
Oh, it's coming. That's next.
It is. It's coming.
Anyway, we'll save that for another time. But you know, enjoy what allegedly what you voted for. But I don't think you did.
Right.
And nobody wanted this, and we knew what he was going to do. Like even the white people, I talk, and it's very interesting. I was saying I wasn't going to get into this, but very interesting enough. You know, I have enough white friends to say I have white friends. Some of them are conservative. I believe having different views in my life. So you know, I don't live, and I think the mistake I made with this election, I was really in a silo. Normally, I listen to a lot of other voices, but I was really like in my bag with a liberal movement, and I now know better because I know whether he cheated or not. There's a significant popular segment of the population here in America that is feeling pain, you know, and I get to interact with them, and you know they're counting pennies and they're feeling pain and they don't know what to do about it. And somebody comes along and they promises them the world plus New Jersey, and they fall for it, and now they are swagging. I was just talking about the daily videos and the barrage of phone calls and the barrage of posts that you see. You know, he lied. But I know I love, my favorite Malcolm is the Venezuelan woman that held a whole press conference.
Oh God.
Yeah, she was crying. She's like, President Trump, you promised me. And at that same moment, 350,000 sweat. Good for you, President Trump. Hey, and I mean this in my heart of hearts, nigga. Do what you said you were going. I want you to do every goddamn thing.
It's so bad that
No,
I can't help but laugh.
I want you to repeal gay marriage. I want you to do all that. I want you to do it all. And
I think there were reports of like the first detainees being sent to Guantanamo, about 1,000 people. Yeah, it's happening. They already started.
Crazy camp, America.
Yeah,
we are on a watch list for humanity, atrocities against humanity.
Yeah.
Now we're normally the keepers of that list, but
right.
So I wanted to talk about all of this because politics is a symptom of some things that I wanted to discuss, and the things that social behaviors. Today we have the esteemed Professor Christopher Solomon on today. He'll be here momentarily. He's an MSW. He teaches social worker, which he teaches kindness and empathy. In which he was the person that I knew to go to. I was like, because there is something that we have to get back to, even within the Black race and the Black culture.
Right.
There is a divide. There is something happening. Like I saw a picture of Boyz II Men standing with the fucking Speaker of the House. Well, their career was already over. They might give a fuck. Bitch, you're not relevant. You might as well go ahead and sing for Trump. I mean, seriously, like them and like who else is a Black conservative that try to keep it? But she's smart enough. Gladys Knight is smart enough to not air the fact that she's a Republican, but she is, and that's fine. But you know, I'm not saying that we can't have different views, but you can't expect me to buy your music and see your concert tickets. Right. So now the picture posted yesterday in their concert, you know, they're on tour, their concert sales went down about 45%. Well, thank you, Black community, for not having it.
I know, right?
Yeah. Save your money and go to Cowboy Carter. Because she out there. She out there for tickets, and I have 2 functioning kidneys. I do not need to buy one, y'all. Stop it.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers prostituting online. Hey, Steven, how you doing, friend? Motherfuckers prostituting online for Beyonce tickets. Good morning, Mr. Collins. You know they out there doing it. Like, you know, at 5 o'clock in the morning, you want some head. Right. Hey, not too much of boys and men. They want that mass singer. They want no much. Did you hear what I said, Mr. Collins? That they took a picture with the Republican Speaker of the House. No, much. I don't give a fuck if they mammy. Fuck them.
Right.
Snoop gone from my playlist, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Gone from.
Yeah, that was really disappointing.
So, and you know what's bad? When you know what's bad, when you get uninvited to the Grammys. You know,
Yeah.
now, Snoop, you bitch, don't forget who is your community first. You're out
Right.
there, you're posting things. The white community don't love you like that. They complaining now because the ratings were down on the sports show that he hosted, whatever whatever it was, Snoop hosted, down by 40%. Snoop, you are not them. Right. They are not like us. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So I have not been on the air since the Super Bowl, but I want to talk about real quick while I'm waiting for Dr. Solomon to come on. That Kendrick Lamar, love you, love you, love you. Everything down to the necklace you had on, to the jeans you had on, was a black ass statement. You have motherfucking Serena Williams married a white man, but she wants you to know that bitch is from South Central and she will still crip walk in a wig. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Love you, Serena.
And MAGA hated every minute of it.
I might have to post a picture of white people watching that.
Jackson, a bitch, you can make a movie just standing there holding your dick. I'm seeing it. I don't care.
I've seen so many people getting up online talking about, oh my God, it was so boring. I couldn't understand a word of it. My favorite one was somebody who complained that I didn't see not one white person on that stage. And people were like, oh, so now you want DEI.
And I love
now you want diversity. Now you want inclusion.
I love this one response to the black person. Oh, no, we got rid of DEI. It just so happens all the best dancers were black. And that led to thousands of.
That's a great response, yeah.
So, as I was talking about earlier, having a special guest on and talking about civility and niceness, I need to be nicer. We have that professor at the great University of North Carolina, Central University, the great state of North Carolina, Professor Christopher Solomon, is going to teach us about behavior. And so the conversation that Chris and I had was about, I am so tired of opening my inbox and people are like, hello, and they showing an ass pic. That's not a handshake. Bro, it's not a handshake. It's not. No, I don't want to see your innards and your entrails and stuff. You didn't even ask me out for coffee. You didn't even, you just saw me on the internet. I see you, Mr. Collins. You just saw me on the internet. You like what you saw, so you thought that you would entice me. Nigga, that's not a Colgate ad. You know what I mean? It's not. Hey, welcome to my, innards. I love it. Professor Solomon, what a greeting.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So what a greeting. I'm so sorry. I just, oh, you know me. Let me stop faking. You know me, nigga.
I know you. I know you all too well.
It's like, oh my God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I asked him, I was like, Professor Solomon, would you be on the show? To say what, Greg? Oh, I hate to get that response. It's like, oh man, you definitely have a point of view. But before we get into it with Dr. Solomon, I'm going to go ahead and play the week rewind with Dr. Solomon, who watches the show. So we're gonna watch the weekly rewind together. Malcolm, watch the weekly rewind with us, and he hates me. Look at him. So check this out while we.
Some
Now they always have some bookers and sound over there. I don't know what's going on over there. Every week here they go. Devon, fix your sound over there. Is it us, Swag, or is it them?
The only thing you're running in here is your mouth. Now, I had Carly and you overstepped. He's actually proven himself useful today. And we're going to need all hands on deck for whatever's coming next.
How do you want the rest of this conversation to go, Sam? Huh? Yeah. Should I put down the shield? Make it fair?
Nokuba ikhona into ekufuneka ivezinkili ngaye ixesha liphelile. Release him to us now.
Hi, John Walker. Captain America. Well, let's put down the pointy sticks and we can talk this through, huh?
Hey, John, take it easy. You might want to fight Bucky before you tangle with the Dora Milaje.
The Dora Milaje don't have jurisdiction here.
The Dora Milaje have jurisdiction wherever the Dora Milaje find themselves to be.
Okay. Look, I think we got off on the wrong foot.
We should do something.
Looking strong, John.
Bucky? Kyle. Kyle, let's talk about this.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. So I have a question for you all. I'm gonna play this video and let me know lights on or lights off. Let me play this clip.
I am not clapping your cheeks with the lights off, bro. I am not clapping your cheeks with the lights off. I'm tired of this, man. I don't want to clap your cheeks if I can't see you, bro. You know how when you eat food, bro, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, before you eat the food, you eat with your eyes, bro. If it looks good and it tastes good, oh, man, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I like to see who I'm clapping. You know what I'm saying? I like to see who I'm clapping. I want to see all of you. I want to see your body. I want to see your face. The face is the main thing I want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a face person, bro. Like, when it comes to attraction and all that, though, that's the main thing that I'm attracted to physically first. Is the face, usually the hair, all that type of shit. Like, your personal aesthetics, bro, is the main thing that turns me on. And with it, we should turn on the lights to be a little bit more romantic. Man, there ain't nothing romantic about that if I can't see your ass. Literally, man. It's just not enjoyable for me. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know how y'all be doing that. Like, I remember I had I had a threesome, man, with not my current landlord, obviously, but a past landlord and this one, twink from UT, you know what I mean? And he was like, man, you over here doing this with all the lights on? And I was just like, but I turned off all the lights though, and it's just like, shit just didn't want to work down there because I just couldn't really see, bro. Anyways, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on all that.
Maybe they don't want to see you. Have you ever thought about that?
Ouch. That hurt, John.
Right.
Right.
Ouch, John. Damn.
Well, he said his not his current landlord, his past
landlord. Right. But I was like, okay.
So
I feel like
maybe
that's the whole thing.
Even for housing.
Like, do people still want the lights off? I don't. I mean, with what I do, I come with lights. I come with like a ring light, and I'm like, so I don't have an issue.
Yes, you do come. You do come.
I always do. Okay.
So y'all heard of this? Is the girl Dank Moss who is suing Lyft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those are her lawyers behind her. I don't know. Something feels kind of predatory about them. Those two guys. I don't know. They feel not predatory in a sexual way, but predatory like
yeah. I know.
Oily lawyer
Yes.
kind of way.
Mhm.
So they're representing her, but recently she went on to the Breakfast Club to do an interview, and let's watch a little bit of it and see what y'all think. Take this in.
Hi,
How are you?
Stormy? How you doing?
Hey, Ken. How you, brother? You good? Nice to meet you, Keys.
Yep. It's the only seat y'all got?
What you want? What you need?
A bigger chair or something.
Is she already little? We had
Well, they moving over part of the sectional.
Good. This is accommodation.
There you go.
They bought the bitch the sofa over there.
You walked in and you said the chair was too small, so we had to bring the part of the sectional for you to sit in. And you said something. You said, "Now this is what I'm talking about: accommodations." Right?
Yes.
But we live in a world that's not always going to be able to accommodate people. That
But
are
we
plus
should
size.
though. We should because we not all the same. You know.
Mhm.
I feel like we should. Like why not? I feel like a lot of times people think that bigger people, obese, the F word people should just be in a house when it's like
The
we
F
not.
word? Like,
yeah, the F word. I'm not
You
about
heard
to
that you can't say in your house.
Yeah.
Fat. You don't like it.
oh,
I'm not saying that word.
Yeah, we don't use that word in my house
okay.
either.
I thought you were talking about the gay slur. I'm like, wait, I'm confused.
No.
No.
But I just feel like it should be accommodated. Bigger people should be accommodated, just like we accommodate the LGBT community.
Pause.
Oh,
What the fuck
now
you
she
talking
done
about?
fucked up. Now she done fucked up.
What is she talking about? Like we accommodate the LGBT community. Who accommodate?
How does she make the connection? I don't.
I don't see it. I don't see.
I
But
don't either.
She part of that group that be like gays be getting special treatment when they asking for equal rights. But
Right.
That's okay. So here we go.
Oh, my dearest fat people, listen. Listen, let me tell y'all something. And I put this on Alice Drayton, my mama, rest in peace. She'll be gone 17 years tomorrow. I'm going to tell you something. This world does not revolve around your old fat ass. Sue me. Sue me. Sue me. You go on the airplane, they make you pay extra for the seat. They make you pay for that goddamn extender. Sue me. No. For those that have physical ailments, y'all ain't got no elevator. What? No, I know this shit ain't going down. Where the motherfucking ramp at, nigga? You know what I'm saying? And as a member of the LGBTQIA community, do I ask for spots to go eat ass? Can I have this spot? I need a room for ass eating, please. Right. I need a room. Right. Dr. Sarver, do y'all do that on campus? Do y'all provide?
We do not. Not for the LGBT plus community. We do not. However, we do accommodate students that are in need.
Yes.
We do accommodate them, but not for the LGBT community. We don't.
Right. You don't have a room.
We don't. We don't say, "Oh, go suck dick here."
Oh.
We don't have those type of rules on campus. Now it might happen, but we don't know anything about it as
How
professionals.
dare you, Professor? That is not. We were accommodated everybody. Everybody should be accommodated. Let me tell you something, big lady. Take that shit to Europe. Europe doesn't have an ADA. Europe they don't do that. If you go to the Louvre and you can't go up the stairs, you just not gonna see what's up there. Because that building is 500 years old. They're not gonna put a goddamn elevator in there, and you're not gonna make them. You know what I'm saying? And so this is one reason. Thank you for pulling that clip, Swag. One reason why I want to have Professor Solomon on here, because everybody, it started with Janet, with the Velvet Rope. She said everybody wants a need to feel special, and then along comes Facebook, and then now everybody's internet. You know what I hate to see, y'all? I hate to see this is YouTube sensation or TikTok sensation. And the fact that counts as a celebrity, I don't even know. They be like Chad Michael Michelson and Peter Don Peter. I'm like, who the fuck are these people? You know what I mean? But I think about it as an internet person myself. You know, I would like to be an internet star, I guess. But it's just one of those things like, yo, I don't know. Malcolm, when do you stand with
I completely disagree with you. And you might understand why.
fat accommodations?
I believe in accommodations that are reasonable. So I don't know if her accommodation was reasonable, but the thing is, like, I'll tell you, I'm a 6'4", 400-pound man. I hate getting on airplanes because those things do not fit. You know, like I cannot fit in those things. However, I think there's a balance to be made, right? You know, there's a certain size at which, you know, accommodating me would hurt their bottom line, thus making it more expensive or difficult to fly everyone, you know. But then at the same time, I want to be treated like a human being, you know. And I think that everyone, whatever their size, whatever their abilities, you know, whatever their disabilities, should be accommodated on a flight if they can. And one of the upsides to doing that is everyone gets treated like a human being. You start looking at people not as how much money can I get from you, but how are you going to feel when you get on this plane? And unfortunately, the only way that you can get corporations to treat people like human beings is to sue them, because ultimately all they do is care about money. At the end of the day, like they have to hurt in order for you to be seen as a human being.
So, but not to cut you off. I'm so sorry, bro. But the thing, who was it? Uber or Lyft? Uber.
I think it was Lyft.
Okay, but you can order a bigger car.
Yeah, I did. I said I don't know the points of her case.
Yeah, me.
But the thing is, like, I think ordering a bigger car costs more money.
It does, but like, okay, but here's the thing: if I'm not having a good physical day, I'm like, oh shit, you know, I'm gonna need to stretch out when I go somewhere.
But see, that's where it would benefit everyone. If the cars you could order were large enough for large people, then you wouldn't have to worry about having to pay more.
That is, nobody made me fall. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just playing devil. I'm being here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I have to push the button right. Did you push me down, bitch? And I didn't see.
No, and you're right. Like I know, like I said, I knew someone who worked in another country for disability rights, and they're still at the point of trying to get ramps in public accommodations, like so wheelchairs can go into a public building. They're still fighting for, you know, reserved parking for the handicapped. You know, and the truth is, in countries like that, people do have to just stay home, you know. And the funny thing is, of course, those businesses end up losing business because if the people who are handicapped can't go there and there's a meeting of multiple people, they go to the place where there is a ramp. And they do go to these other places. And it's funny, like a lot of times these businesses will actually want there to be regulations for the disabled because they don't want to spend extra money on the ramps or whatever if their competitors don't have to as well. If they make everyone have to pay for it, then everyone can compete on a even playing field in a sense.
Right. Dr. Solomon, you were going to say.
I think a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if you all saw this or read about it, but it was a mother who lost her daughter, and the daughter weighed 850 pounds, and she died in the home. And so she had called for a funeral home to come and pick the child up. But the funeral home said they cannot accommodate her because of the size of her body. They called the fire station for them to come and pick up the young lady. And I think they had a difficult time. And so she is considering suing because the funeral home said they cannot accommodate her daughter to cremate her or anything. And she was just in the home for a couple of hours. And it was hurting her mom to see her daughter suffer in the end because she weighed 850 pounds. Now, the question becomes, is it the mother's fault because you allowed your child to get to be that big at 850 pounds? Or was it something that was medical related, or was it just who the person was, meaning the child was? And so it's a lot of talk about this now in the communities about how do we see people that might be obese. And now that we have this 800-pound person that's deceased in a home, and the fire department cannot really come in and get her, or a funeral home cannot accommodate her. So I'm believing that this conversation is relevant, yes, because we saw the clip about this young person, and she said, obviously, thank you for accommodating me, but she went left when she infringed upon a community that didn't have anything to do with her weight. That's her weight.
Swag, where do you stand? Thank you, Dr. Soul. Swag, what do you stand? Yeah.
I mean, I'm sort of kind of in the middle of it because I agree. There does need to be reasonable accommodations made for certain groups, but at the same time, it's like, now I don't know the particulars. Now, the way I heard this story was that the person went to come pick her up, and it was like a Toyota Corolla. I find it hard to believe she would fit in the back of a Toyota Corolla, but
I had to though. I was on the phone with you when
right, but the thing is like this reminds me of this, and I think we've talked about it before. There's like this person that's online. They're transgender and they're a content creator, and what they do is they purposely go out to businesses and they wait for somebody to misgender them, and then they just make a whole hullabaloo about, oh, you misgendered me, you're homophobic, you're transphobic, whatever. And I kind of feel like this is sort of on that line where it's like, girl, you can't fit in this car. Like, are you really gonna make a big deal about it? Because again, the Lyft company doesn't say like, hey, you have to take everybody that comes to you. This is the person's car. It's their property. They can decide whether they want to let her ride with them or not. They have the right to refuse service to anybody they want to. And for her to make this big deal talking about, well, they didn't accommodate me. Girl, you could have ordered another Uber. You could have ordered another Lyft.
Let me tell you what they will do. If you call, because this happened to me. Like when I first fell, I really wasn't feeling good, and so it sent me a car that was too small. I called them back. I hit customer service button. I was like, "Hey, the car you sent me was too small. I'm sorry. Can I need to order another car?" They were like, "Yeah, we'll give you your money back. If you want to order another car, sir."
Right.
And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to have to spend the money to order a bigger car." And they know that is the deal. And if she would have, and that's when they get to court, that's what they're going to say. I'm almost certain that as long as she would have contacted customer care, we would. And they do. Like I have been there. Like I don't. If that's why I say I don't understand this lawsuit. The last 2 years, I have been there. Like I have. Uber has sent car. I'm like, hey, I can't fit in the Toyota Corolla. Like first of all, that bucket seats. I can't. Fuck y'all. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I think it would have been different had it been like, let's say, a taxi, not like these Lyfts or Ubers, but like let's say a taxi service or like Greyhound or something like that. I think that would have been like, okay, now that's different. But when you're talking about people who are driving their own personal vehicles, they have the right to say yay or nay. Like it's their car.
They might not want her ass back there busting their back tires.
Right, exactly.
And they can say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
We can say it in our own personal cars.
I think what she's doing is unreasonable. Because think about it like this also. Like if you needed a wheelchair ramp, say, to get into the back of a Lyft or something like that, you would actually need a different service. I don't know if they would necessarily be required to accommodate you. Like they
are not.
So I don't know. That's why I think that's a little.
Now, before we move on to the next segment, I'm like, ain't nobody fault that she got an ass in the front. I mean, whose fault is it?
Great. Right, that's what I was going to say.
Well, I think that's kind of bullshit because we're finding out that like, people's ability to lose weight is not fully their free will, right?
Right.
There's a certain degree to which your body dictates how hungry you are and how much of the food you metabolize. When they start talking about these was it GLP-1s or whatever these drugs that are coming out, they're literally the first time that something medically prescribed actually worked to deal with obesity. Like I don't think there's any other drug or prescription or plan that would have a 5% success rate that would ever be approved. And that's what the general consensus is on weight loss plans, right? About
It's
a 5%.
5%
About 5% success rate over 5 years. Yeah.
with the
And
shots.
95% of people who try to lose weight don't.
You mean with the shots? With the
No, I'm talking about without the shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there isn't a viable medical alternative currently other than, say, surgeries, which
But just real quick, I'm afraid that motherfucker, what if you actually get diabetes? You know what I'm saying? Does the body build up some type of
yeah, we don't know. I think
That's-
Ozempic has been approved for more than 10 years now. And there hasn't been much more studies than those people who are taking it for diabetes, which, obviously for them, losing weight was a positive side effect of taking it. But yeah, it doesn't seem to. They're just getting into studying people who get off of the drug afterwards. Say,
Yeah, you have to end it at some point. You can't. I mean, I
well,
think,
yeah, currently there's no way to get off of it. Once you get on it, you have to stay on it. Yeah.
Damn. Swag, you were going to comment, say something. Did I miss it? Or no?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, going back to the making accommodations. It's, I've seen Lyft drivers refuse service to somebody who has a child and they don't have like a car seat.
Yeah.
So again, it's not like, they can just take anybody they want to take. It's like sometimes there are reasons why they can't take somebody.
And let me tell you,
Yeah,
you
so-
as a customer as well. I went out to my front in my driveway. This motherfucker got his baby mama in the front seat. Like, no, bro, I don't ride with more than one person. I know what the fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, I left my 38 in the house. So I don't feel like going to go back and get, you know what I'm saying? That's my personal. I don't know what the fuck y'all got going on, some Bonnie and Clyde bullshit. I don't know. I'm not, and I told him, I was like, bro, you get mad if you want to. I don't get in the car with more because I can take you from the back seat.
Right.
Take you with the baby mama. You know what I'm saying? That's not fair to me. Mr. Collins said her case was that the car that pulled up, she said that she's been in before, and the guy just wrote her off when he saw her and didn't even see if she could fit. But she still has an option. He don't have to accommodate her. Now that I'm not that I'm defending her because I'm with you, she should have called a Lyft XL to avoid. Yeah, but let me tell you, she lost because he doesn't have to do this. All right, so moving on. So baby, try Ozempic, pull away from the table. I don't know, get OnlyFans. Some niggas out there like butts in the front. Who knows?
There's a lid for every pot. man.
There's a lid for every part. Titties at the top, ass in the front. Go ahead, new song. Check it out. Drop on iTunes next week. Jonathan, Mr. Drayton out here making all the money. So we also saw in the rewind. Check out Devon on tomorrow at 5:00 p.m. Him and the Blur Council. Now, the thing that I loved about the clip they showed. Hey, Devon. I call Devon Ben and Snap now. That's his new nickname for me. And Snap and Snap. So listen. So I love the clip. What's the name of the Warrior team?
The Dora Milaje.
The Dora Milaje. I love when she said the Dora Milaje has jurisdiction wherever the Dora Milaje goes.
Yeah, that scene was very
Statement.
that was the highlight of that series. Yeah.
I think that makes a social statement as well. Because the good news about asshole being elected again is, I think, and Chris, you can jump in this. I think Black people we're starting to rediscover our voices. We're starting to rediscover who we are as a community, and I love it. I love it. We are paying attention. You know what I mean? We are. Hey, I ain't know my cousin was a Trump supporter. You may not have known, or you think this nigga was drunk and crazy. You know what I mean? You never know. Like, what the fuck? But then when you find out, and then so now, I think that the midterms, which are next year, you can end this presidency in America, and you can end this with the midterms. If we get a Democratic House and a Democratic Senate, you can make him I mean, it's not, you know, they can do a lot,
Mhm.
and they can impeach. I mean, but don't impeach him because that's just going to give him more power, or whatever comes about. I don't know because he's doing some crazy shit. But
Right.
and shout out to Mayor Adams, you dumbass. Shout out to you, Freako. Like, dude, you're in a Democratic state. Your daddy Trump can't save you from the governor. She hates you. New
Well,
York.
no, he just bought him a mirror. That's what he did.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
but she can remove him. He is under.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He just bought himself a mirror
Mhm.
because now he can reinstate that prosecution at any time, and he's basically going to do whatever Trump wants.
Right, but what I'm saying to you, in the state of New York, because he was found guilty for something else last year, Governor, she can remove him, and she's about to remove him.
He
So,
should.
Why
He
would
absolutely
you? Yeah, like why would you do that? And so, bye bye, dumbass. Goodbye. You are hated, and you bribed your way into the seat. You didn't earn the seat, Negro.
Right.
Ran under the fact that you were a Democrat and you stole it. You fuckface. Sit down, clown. Speaking of clowns, I'm just joking. But so yeah, so I love that statement they made. You saw the movie last night, right?
Yes.
How was it?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Now, was it good or was it I can get out my bed and go see it good? What did you think?
I want to know about this movie. What is the movie?
It's Brave New World, but that clip actually doesn't come from the movie.
Oh,
but yes, Brave New World is the new Marvel movie that's out now with the Black Captain America now. So I enjoyed it. It was really good.
Was it crowded?
When I went, no, because I went kind of late. It was like 10 o'clock when I went to go see it, so it wasn't really crowded. But you know, there's been a lot of kind of this sentiment that like, oh, you know, Marvel's gone woke because now you got all these Black-led or female-led projects and stuff like that. But it's like, but that is canon to what the material they're working off of is. So this is nothing new. It's not like, you know, it's not like Captain America has always been white. We just decided, you know what, we're just gonna make him black just this one time. It's like that's the way it happens in
Well,
the
the
comics.
material going back in history, they was a person.
Yes, exactly. So, but you know, again, this is more of the like you said, kind of the results of the election and people railing against, you know, diversity and you know, saying like we don't want that. This is not what we signed up for.
Professor Solomon, I think I have a question that all of us want to know. What motivates people to do things against their own best interest? They could be poor, but they would vote for somebody that would make them poor, or they would do obvious things that are against their best interest. They have health issues, but yet they'll do things to get rid of their health care. What is that about? Is that, in this case, is that their white privilege is more important than their health or their life? What is that? Talk to me.
So, me being a social worker for 34 years now, we see this a lot when it comes to elections. We see when individuals, and I always say that the candidates go to the urban areas. They don't go to the rural areas. And that's where the most dangerous people are.
Okay.
Dangerous meaning that they have the
You
voting
have
power.
something clicking. You got something clicking over there. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either. Probably my headset. Is it better now?
Keep going.
Okay. You know, I always say that in the rural areas, you see a lot of the people, meaning white privilege or the poor individuals or people that don't have incomes that like people that live in the urban areas. But you always see this figure, meaning the political figure. The Democrats will stay in the urban areas. And I always say, even from the time Hillary Clinton was running, you should be going in the rural communities. You should be talking to these individuals because they're the ones that will go and they will believe in the opposite candidate, meaning here in North Carolina, the Democrats, they always come to Raleigh, Charlotte, Greensboro, different places. But the place that I'm originally from, Kinston, North Carolina, down east, that's rural, doesn't have a lot. And Donald Trump, for an example, went there. And the movement started because these individuals will believe when you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have access to medical care, you don't have access to anything.
Okay.
Besides like Medicaid. So when they hear we're going to instill hope, we're going to bring jobs, we're going to bring you better access to medical care, we're going to bring you transportation, then of course you see this movement.
But what happens? What happens when they don't and they still believe?
Oh, they believe, because then they'll start talking to their other ones that are not believing, and they convince them.
Now, but I'm saying if the candidate doesn't, the candidate gets elected per se, okay, and then he does the opposite, and what happens to the person's belief hierarchy?
They still believe, because they'll say they'll blame it on everybody else. They don't see him. They see everybody else that's not helping him to get it going. They don't understand that he's doing these executive orders right now and wiping away every single thing, because they still believe in that he's going to do better. But he has to do these things first in order for it to get better. So in it, healthcare, they will believe that healthcare will come around because they don't believe in Obamacare, as they call it. Not understanding that the system was created for a certain reason, to give access to everybody to have health care. They believe we hear the name Obama, and he doesn't necessarily like Obama, and they own Obamacare, but they don't get that they own Obamacare. Then it goes left. So they'll believe in it, and then until it gets to hit them in a different way and in the land, then that's when they start complaining.
Excuse me, Professor, 1 second. Swag, can you block those last two comments? That person. You cannot.
I can't.
You cannot?
No.
Okay.
It's from a different. If it's from a different source, we can't.
Okay. Oh, fuck off. Go ahead. Sorry. I see you down there, but you're not important enough for me to do anything about it. Go ahead.
We won't pull it up. We won't pull it up. We can just ignore it.
Go ahead, doctor.
Right. But, that's just the way I see it here. Now, it can land differently everywhere else. And of course, I hear people when they're talking to different communities in different states, that this is what I tend to hear a lot about, is that, oh yeah, they'll convince them that they'll do everything, but until it hits them and it lands on them differently, that's when they want to start revving up. But right now, they're still believing.
I find so interesting enough, so I always laugh when people say fuck around, find out, but in this case, it's so true. Daily we're seeing posts, and we're seeing, I know people in my own life that have voted for him. They're like, oh, I didn't think he was talking about me. I am of Cuban descent. I have a cousin who went back to Cuba. Did I tell you this story? Went back to Cuba, met a woman, brought her back. They've been living harmoniously for the last 2 years or so. She just got deported. So he calls me hollering and crying, what you calling me for? Do you know any immigration lawyers? If I was sitting beside one, I wouldn't give them to you. You think about that when you go in the booth. Well, he said, yeah, well, he said a lot. So now you're sitting there looking stupid. And guess what? You can't go back to Cuba and go get her.
I think that's why it's a little different now, because the first term they believed in him, but this time he's actually doing more. And they are seeing it more, because this is week, 4 or 5 that he's been in office. Now they're starting to feel it a little different because the action is taking place.
So do you think the midterms are going to be different, or you think?
Well, I do believe that, because everybody's seeing now. You go in the store to pay $6 for eggs. You are seeing your people, your loved ones being deported now, and that these immigration officers are showing up. You're seeing half the federal government being laid off. I think it's going to be a big difference now, because everybody's seeing that this individual, that Project 25 was real. The issue that I believe is that,
dude, he told us exactly what.
But see, they didn't believe it because it was a woman.
Oh,
I agree with the idea that people don't believe it, but I think there's first of all, for being Black women, but I think it's also because people hate to be wrong. Like when you are proven to be an idiot, it's kind of like you will double down on your stupid so that you can still be right, or have some sense of self-respect, because they heard what he said. And I remember there was actually this woman whose video's gone viral. She's actually from North Carolina, and she was talking about how, this isn't what she voted for. And she clearly noted many of the things that Trump was doing about deportations and cutting off funding. And now she's saying like she can't get her credit from FEMA for
for her house.
she said, I didn't vote for any of this. No, you did. Because you're paying attention to the news well enough to know the things that he's doing.
Right.
And it only mattered to you when it was affecting you.
And that's
this is one of the reasons why I don't think they supported Obamacare. It was not, of course, putting Obama's name on it was a signal to say that we're not just giving you health care, we're giving everyone health care. We're giving people who you don't think deserve health care. And you're like, I don't want it if they get it too.
Right. That part. That's the part that I kind of want to speak to, because I feel like a lot of the people who voted, they knew what they were going to get with him, but it was like they wanted Trump to attack the people that they don't like. It's always a us against them mentality. And so they saw somebody's like, hey, he's going to go after them people over there. He's not going to come after us, the good ones. He's going to go after them. And now they're finding out, no, you are the them. You are not. And if you are not straight, white, cisgender male, you are the other. And they are coming for you. And now they're like, but I'm the good one. I vote. No, you didn't.
And unfortunately, I think Trump is really good at blaming other people. He's doing all these things at the beginning of the administration. He's going to try to blame Biden and the Democrats for it. He said, I just had to fix a broken thing.
Throughout his entire administration, it's always going to be Obama.
It's someone else's fault.
And Biden.
And he's going to give his people something. Like he just fired 200,000 people. Eventually, he's going to start hiring people again. Eventually, he's going to start sending out checks again with his name on it. And I bet you it's going to be targeted to his people. And he's like, like an abusive relationship. Like, I'm going to smack you upside the head. And he's like, hey, baby, that's okay. I got you. We're all right.
But if he could run again, I would agree with that. But it's no. Because
they're working on that.
Oh, they're working on it. No, it's behind the scenes. They're working on it. But the thing is that when you're working with someone that has a diagnosis of narcissism, a personality disorder with narcissistic features in it, they did not shut him down in the first administration because everybody fed him. The way to beat a narcissistic person is to not feed their ego and not to feed them, because personality disorders, you can't do anything about them. That's the hardest population to work with. And no matter how much you get them engaged in treatment, it is still part of who they are. But there are ways of looking at them and working with them, but you have to have a solid plan. And when the media did not shut him down, then he kept going.
Yeah.
Even this week, he was upset. Now he's going for what's the man named McConnell, because he didn't vote for his two individuals. Now he gonna go out there and talk about McConnell. Okay,
he was the only Republican who didn't vote. I think like 3 or 4 of his nominees actually. What's interesting, of course, is that he could have impeached him twice. He had 2 opportunities,
but he did not.
Which he did not. He could have rallied the vote, especially on the second one. It was that was such a gimme.
Right.
Yeah. He was already out of office. He could just say, "You can't run again."
So before we go on to the next topic, one question. I like to end things on optimism. What can we do? What do we feel we can do as individuals about this? You know what I'm saying? What can we do? And this question is to all 3 of you. What can we do as individuals to make our lives better? To make the next 48 months. Like a car note, everybody. I keep telling everybody 48
down to a science, because I just said we in week 5, but you got it down. Okay, you got the month. Go ahead.
48. It's a car note. Okay, and so I'm telling you. So we went out. We bought
to break it down into weeks, because I feel like I had to take a smaller chunks at a time. I'm just
do it by months. It's easier. Okay. So listen, But there is a reprieve button that we can push after 12 months. The next November we can start the healing. We can start healing now. I think we're on the way. But if we do the right thing at the midterms, I'm not talking to young people and those who do not vote. So all of you on Twitch, you ain't vote no fucking way. I'm not talking to you. Those of us who put leather to the motherfucking sidewalk and not were keyboard warriors. What is he going to do to Palestine? You see what he's doing to Palestine? He wants to turn it into a resort, bitch. You see that? You love that? You're like, I like that for you.
I'm pretty sure he said that during the campaign too.
Oh, he did. And see, the thing I love, young folk. Oh, well, she was saying this, she was saying that. You can't get student loans, so your dumb ass gonna get kicked out of school, dog. You know what I'm saying?
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming. HBC, all those black people. But she said this and she said that. But let me tell you something. We have, 17 months before November of 26. November 26, you can fix it. You know what I'm saying? So former President Biden did us a favor. He appointed a whole bunch of judges. So most of it is going to get hung up in the next year. So it's going to go back and forth between the lower courts and high courts. So then that's going to buy us enough time. This is how I make myself sleep at night. So it would hopefully could buy us enough time. But I'm going to start with, since you're the guest, Professor Solomon, what do you think we could do as individuals to make ourselves feel better and to make another outcome?
I mean, I think for me personally, and what I say to the students, every day you should try to take care of you, because it's a lot going on. Every week it's executive orders going on that's affecting us. DEI, whatever terms you want to say, they are affecting us. So we have to really breathe now and figure out what the plan is to get around it, because there's a plan in everything. And so in it, if we can figure out how to keep ourselves as individuals calm, you'll win. That's why I do by weeks. I can't think about 3 more years, 5 more years from now. I got to do it by weeks.
Okay.
Because at the end of the week.
Now you're going to have to call me once a week.
That's fine. Okay, because for me,
like Sinclair, whoa.
Right, because I can't think that far out, because it'll drive me crazy.
I understand.
But each week I can do something and keep myself going and stay motivated, because you're right, the midterm elections are coming up. Now I know I have to govern myself accordingly and really get out there and start talking and doing the things now in order for us to get there in 2 years with a difference. But even when I'm seeing in my state right now, they're introducing legislature to stop it from voter registration, because they saw that the blacks would turn out, going to church and go to the polls. But now they're trying to find ways to cut the registration. They're trying to find ways to cut early voting days down. Well, now I have to go and get people to understand the importance of still, don't let them take them away, because they see this, that the blacks, we as black people went and we did it in droves, but they're trying to take away our power. But each week,
but you guys do have a Democratic governor, to say
we do. Okay, but they stripped him of most of his powers.
Ooh.
In December, before he even got it into the office in January. So there's a lot of things that a person, a governor, could do. He stripped them of some of that power, and the AG. So the Attorney General cannot fight for certain things that the legislature might want them to fight, that they would have fought for in the past, like amendments to certain things, or in some some court cases. The AG can't do. The governor possibly can do it, but they even took some of that away, because now you have to go through the legislature to get your people approved on certain boards, and they remove certain people off the boards to put the Republicans in. Wow. So it's still an ongoing fight. But for me personally, it's about each week, let me do something to keep me going, so I'll be energized. And 4 years from now, I will feel better, because I think it'll be a different outcome.
It's Swag, I'm coming to you next. So what is your view? How do you make yourself feel better, and what could look like perilous times, or what gives you hope. And let me just talk about this. I see all the comments over, guys, but let me tell you something. My thing is, how he is deporting American citizens. On top of that, young buck down at the bottom. It's not just bad people. It's people that are married to American citizens, and he deporting people that served this nation while you down there being a keyboard warrior on Twitch. People that served this nation in the military. You know what I'm saying? People's parents who gave their children for this nation. It's not just illegals. It's anybody with brown skin. It's anybody with that he deems as other. You turn on the news and you watch those concentration camps being built. This is not hyperbole, sir. So you educate yourself before you come on here talking anything to me. Go ahead, Swag. What you got?
How do I follow that up?
Right. I didn't even see the comment, but okay.
Right.
Sir.
I mean, you know, it's funny because we are on this campaign of like, anybody who voted for Trump and now they're complaining about stuff. It's like saying like, I love that for you. But at some point we I don't know, because that's a hard one, because like at some point we do have to like get them on our side, and if we are alienating them, it's kind of like, well, they could retaliate.
Well, that's the thing.
We'll just keep doing this until y'all turn around and do what we want us to do. But I mean, I don't think that's true of everybody, though. I don't think that's true of everybody, but it's like they got to see that like this is not working, and like I said, a lot of people are coming back and saying like, I regret my vote now. I did not know. For instance, we all talked about how right after the election, Google searches went through the roof on what is a tariff, and it's just like y'all have to do a better job of educating yourself before you go.
But I blame the media on that, though.
I
blame the media on that, though, because even with myself, I wasn't a media silo. I was just in my bag. I was Malcolm preached the gospel to me for the last 2 years, and I got to give it to you, brother, because you did. You preached the motherfucking gospel to me, and you said, Greg, it's not going to matter. It's because the way the demographics are set up just for this particular election. And I was like, no, but so I understand it. But Malcolm, because you like me have given up the news route. So talk about the positivity, like what do you do?
The politics is that sometimes our personal, and this is something that I think a lot of Black people who I talked to felt like their vote didn't matter. And I think this election made them feel that way even more. Mm-hmm. But this is something that in a democracy, we always can have this push and pull from our individual wants versus the collective. And, just what Swag was saying, like, we're going to need these people later on. So while you are in your feelings, the fuck around and find out ethos is fine. But do recognize that over time, we are going to have to create a coalition with these people. So I think, first of all, the idea of taking care of yourself, finding joy wherever you can find it, finding community wherever you can find it. I do think that in difficult times like this is how people form strong communities. So like if you can meet up with people in real life, not just get online and talk shit about people, but actually like do some volunteer work, actually get in community with people. I think that would be something positive. Getting used to the idea that because they're going to have to be, as they say, boots on the ground come, the midterms, come the next election, getting your boots a little dirty now, doing some other things like, because, economic hard times are coming. I would say like, get your finances in order, like seriously create a budget, figure out where your money is going and figure out ways that you can cut when shit starts getting expensive, because it is.
Well, to that, Malcolm, things are not going to change for people of color. It's been that way for us, and the fuck around and find out is literally, I do keep a few clients in my financial business.
I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of people have been fortunate enough to not have to think that way.
Right. No, what I'm saying is that it's just, unfortunately, no matter who the president is, the way that our lives are struggled as Black people, not even Hispanic people, they have a different struggle. But for Black and brown people, the economics were already bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So, we don't have to. That lesson of austerity is not for us.
No, that's true. No, I'm saying there is a difference, and this is something they was talking about with the difference between non-college educated voters versus college educated voters. Actually, defied race, right? So there are definitely people within our community who have not necessarily had to struggle. I think it is true that Trump and the Republicans have somehow spoken to those people who are struggling and then pile on, right? Like they have no incentive to make things better because that struggle is kind of where they get their vote from. They want to fuck some shit up and then say like, you can't trust the government, because we're in power. We're going to make it where you can't trust. And it is. I think this is what's the thing. They really have broken the trust of the government because there are all these contracts and grants and things that people were counting on. Like they've already done the work and they're waiting to get paid, and they're like, "Where's the money?"
And sadly, that's how you get rid of democracy. That's how
it is, because this wasn't like a Trump thing. They started this stuff years ago.
That's right.
And so it's just like, yeah, we got a decent president now, whoever it may be. Let's say like Malia Obama is the next Democratic president. Said Malia gave me this money, but you can't trust it because you don't know who's going to be the next president, right? Like it's like.
So with that said, thank you guys so much for those enlightening views. So the other reason why I brought you here, Doc, not to interrogate you about politics and people's perception. So I was online, as I do. Malcolm has set me up to be the proprietor of our M3 box. Y'all nasty, by the way. I'm just gonna tell y'all are just really. I go to church on Sundays to pray. I have to put myself of Jesus. Ooh, that inbox, y'all are terrible. I'm telling you, just pray before you do stuff because it's me. It's me. Look, I'm just somebody's granddaddy. I am looking at these messages. We appreciate all. I love the beard. Swag and Malcolm, they want to do terrible things to you all. I'm concerned. I just like, I read a message yesterday and it was like, I've been looking for a man my height. This guy, he says, I'm 6'5". Can you give my number to Malcolm? And I was like, sure.
I understand the struggle. I do.
Oh, good. But the plurality of the hellos were ass pics. Hi, I think you're cute. Bam. What is it about today's society where ass pic or even a vid of them performing fellatio? I'm trying to be professional today. But them performing fellatio, what, when and how and what can we do about that being the hello? You know what I mean? So I always tell little young bucks that I mean, like, you would not come up to me in a restaurant and pull your pants down. Well, maybe you would. Pull your pants down and bend over the table, be like, you want some of this. So like as a professional clinician. So last week we had my godmother on. She's an MSW. You watch the show. So we got like the straight cis answers of some of the things, and we realized the straights are never going to be okay. Tune in Tuesday night, 7 p.m. to find the list of the straights are okay, because they're not. We're worried. But like when did that all start? How do we get out of that? How do we educate our brethren? Because the other thing I discussed with you, like we lost a whole generation to HIV and AIDS. Mm-hmm. So we're now the elders. Unfortunately, I never see myself as an elder, but my knees say differently. Mm-hmm. How do we educate? Because like this little young person down here, I think it's a bot, whatever it was, but they don't want to hear. They just want to see what's in front of them. So you deal with the young bucks every day. And is it like are they in real life? Because I don't deal with young people other than the ones in my family. They know.
In real time, they are. And so they look at me in class because I say I'm old. I literally just went to the barbershop this morning, cut the gray down from aging. And so they always look at me and I say, because I'm older now, that you all don't do things like we did way back when. In theory, for them, you got to say way back when, because most of them don't. And so they'll sit there and they will look at you. I said, because, the thing is, you all don't know how to go about dating.
Right.
Or we use the term courting.
Oh, come on, courting.
Everything
Woo.
is fast for you all now because social media has taken over. So you don't know how to communicate. You all chat. And I literally have to ask them, what do you mean? Because I'm confused. Because in my day, communication was you actually had conversations.
Right.
You all chat. So I need to understand, what is chat? Because chat, they say to me, is, oh, we get on things, we just be on our phone, we text, we do all these other kind of things. Well, what does that mean? And then you be the first one to get upset when you send a picture. Then you're hollering, oh my God, my boyfriend put my picture up there, but you sent it. So what about going back to the days of understanding that it's better for you to date your partner, go out with your partner, ask your partner certain questions that's important. What is intimacy to you? How do you show up in the time that I need you? How do you touch me in a way versus you just going up in here and you do it real fast and then in 2 days that's your boyfriend, but you don't know anything about them. You never ever asked the question about, tell me about your childhood, because your childhood tells a lot of story.
You better talk
And then
about
you
it.
end up in a pickle, but you missed it when you had an opportunity of understanding. You had a chance to get the information. So we're always in dialogue about the difference between the generations, because I do see the gap in the generation, because everything is so fast for them now, and they can literally pick up a computer and they can just create this avatars and become this whole person. But who are you when you have to show up? So I challenge them all the time and say that. Go ahead.
Right. And so, so Professor, and that's interesting because you are training people to have empathy and understanding as to be future social workers. I guess that's the 1 or 2% that do have that ability to, have empathy, because these kids don't. Even in my own family, my son is a whole doctor and has no. Thank God he's a research doctor, because he doesn't have any. I'm going to say feelings, right? But
they don't.
Yeah, everything is. Oh, you'll be fine. Oh, it's okay.
Right.
Whatever, Malcolm. Whatever, old man. That's his favorite thing. I fell off the steps today, sir. Oh, well, you must be okay because you're on the phone. No, I'm not okay.
Right.
Wow.
Right. They just go right over you.
Right. It's just, and his wife is the same way. The kids, sweet, lovable children. I love them because I have to.
You don't have to.
I do. I was born into it. I had to. It's a contract with God. And I understand. I understand my place in this. But I refuse to, and so they don't. Unlike other young parents, they don't give them a lot of screen time. They don't give them, because my daughter-in-law and my son are intellects. They are true, So these kids are here reading the Velveteen Rabbit. Like, damn, I read I was in like the 8th grade. I read the Velveteen Rabbit. My grandson's 9. He's like, I'm reading the Velveteen Rabbit, Papa.
What's funny is I kind of want to take like the devil's advocate role a little bit. I'm surprised that young people are thriving as much as they do, considering they came up with phones. I remember, because I first of all, I thought about this, dealing with sometimes when Republicans are right about something. Republicans were introducing these bills to basically exclude kids from having their phones in classrooms. Like they would put their phones in in a little pouch that blocked the signal, and they wanted people to have access to their phones in case of an emergency, but they don't want them to be able to use their phones in class, right?
Right.
And I was like, that is the most reasonable thing ever, because I remember just having some of these little portable game systems
Yeah.
when I was in school, or having a calculator that had games on it. And I was just thinking, like if I had a full ass fucking phone in school, I would not have paid one bit of attention.
But you don't do that in my classroom, because that's day one rule. You don't come to my class late, and you don't be on your phone. I don't care if it's your mama, your dog, your cat, whoever.
Yeah.
Don't try me.
That
But
is
even
true.
if you,
That's the
you know,
point.
like let's say you're not on your phone and it's in your pocket and it's buzzing, like you're going to be so tempted, you're not even be paying attention to it. I'm just saying that's an example of how, like, I think the convenience of having the world at your fingertips is never built the strength to deal with any sort of resistance in real life. So I heard of this one person as a friend of my mom's, a kid who's in school, and they were asked to do a booth at a convention or something. And they just could not deal with that amount of face-to-face interaction with people coming up to the booth to talk to them about their program, you know, because they're just not used to it. You know, like they absolutely could not. I don't know. They couldn't deal
They don't
with that
know
much.
how.
Yeah,
They don't
and
know how.
they don't know how. They never learn.
They're definitely built differently than we are. I
Yeah.
agree on that 100%. And you know, it's funny because I had this conversation with my parents all the time, because they look at my niece and my nephew who are like they're just now turning 20. And they're saying like, oh, they do everything different than we do, and they don't want this and they don't want that. It's like they are a different generation than we are. Like, for example, my nephew didn't get his license until he was like 21 or 22. And you know, as soon as I was able to like get my learner's permit, I was ready to roll. But it's like, you know, like you said, they have this phone. If they want to see their friends, they can FaceTime. If they want to get something to eat, they order DoorDash. If they see some clothing that they like, they order it on Amazon. They have no reason to want to go anywhere.
If I had
it's
Amazon
they have
in high
the world
school,
at
oh my
their
God.
hand. I'm telling you, it's like so
Actually,
they
I
are
did.
just a different breed,
I
and
do
I
have
think
Amazon.
in being so like technological, being able to do whatever they want to do, I think it is a lost art that they don't have conversations anymore. Everything with them is, you know, WYD, ASL, you know, it's all like just memes and like little abbreviated stuff. They don't literally have full conversations like we used to have.
Yeah, they call
And
it.
so-
Someone called it brain rot. I don't know what that. It particular like the way that people speak who have not fully developed the ability to communicate. It's like you're
Right.
speaking in brain rot. Like I can tell you don't have a fully developed language center.
Right.
And then it frustrates you because, you know, I'm living in my world, but that's not their world.
Yeah.
Right.
And so,
Exactly.
you know, I found years ago that I had to really rework it, because I know they're not reading the textbooks. Why are they wasting the time?
Right.
So, you know, I have to be creative and say to them, come in, be prepared for a current event, because they're not going to read a textbook. So I
Right.
had to go around and get them to, how do I get them? Then I have to be smart like they are. You find something of interest, you bring it to the classroom. So I usually start off either with a critical thinking question, or I will say, well, tell me what's going on in the news right now. All right, when it was DEI, okay, then I'm able to get them to start connecting the dots. How do you do research? How do you do all these things? Because they don't think about it until you give them examples about how to do it, and how to do it in a way like I teach them, so they are thinking, because they don't learn how to write in cursive anymore. They don't learn how to
When the boy said to me, Pop, he went to closing and he sent me the documents that he signed. I just wanted to make sure. This is my new living. Not gonna let my child fall into a hole. And I said, why did you just write your name at the bottom? Why didn't you just sign it? He was like, what? I did sign it.
Yeah. Well, here's what's crazy is that they're going to actually have to get rid of signatures because they're finding out like people do not have a signature. People under 25 have not learned cursive. So like when they're doing like voter registration and do a signature match, they don't match because they don't have a set signature anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, you for real? He was like,
It's a learned thing. So much about what we consider who we are has to be learned, and if it's not, you just don't know.
So I sent him the
You
cursive.
don't know. It has to be learned.
I
Yeah.
sent him the cursive alphabet model, and his wife taught him cursive.
We take it for granted. I mean,
It's really terrible. It's just one of those things that I think we are. It's just symptomatic, and we're just moving on as a culture. And I think with the whole politics thing, this is the last gasp of a people that don't want to educate themselves, and they feel like the world is moving past them. Newsflash: if you don't want to educate yourself, and I don't want to live in the Hunger Games or a
Idiocracy.
Yeah, and they don't realize their population is shrinking, and I think what we realize as a minority that our voice is our power, and don't be fooled by people that don't have your interest. So thank you for coming today, because I think you have reignited something that I need to express, because I had given up. I told you I was off from November to January, and I was pouting, I was kicking babies and punching puppies.
Don't say those things.
I was mad. I was just like, yo, I was mad. I was angry. I was like, this is the second qualified woman that was more qualified than any man could ever be. And we looked past her yet again. We're not going to have another female candidate in my lifetime. It's just not going to happen. Not on the Democratic side. And I don't blame them, and they shouldn't. Like, if you want to win, we. But then the other thing that we have to realize, as a country, we are only 250 something years old, maybe 260 by now. We have to realize that we are babies compared to others. And when other countries like Germany had their Hitlers, you have to go through revolutions of time and experiences to know what not to do. We are, and unfortunately, our time as a nation came during our lifetime, and we have done a very good job, because the older people, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, they understood why America left England. We understood that tyranny, but we, as a culture, have become mean and ornery, and the cruelty is the point. And I think, in my opinion, it's my show, so I get to leave with my opinion. Great. So, in my opinion, this is the opinion of the talented Mr. Drayton, Saturday Sit Down. Once the fuck around and find out happens, unfortunately, we all have to suffer. But Black people, just please know we've always been here. Like nothing, we have to remember. We lived through slavery, we lived through Jim Crow, we lived through the Watts riots, all these things that, they killed Dr. King, they killed JFK, they killed RFK, Senior, Junior.
All right.
Absolute people who cared about us. And so we will survive, and we will come back to balance. I have faith. I don't know if I have faith in this country anymore, because my true opinion is that the election was stolen. My true opinion is Musk did something. Trump owes him. That's right. Little boy, you ain't the president.
Yeah, he's president. Musk.
Right, president is the Musk. And we will learn in the future what happened, and we all gonna sit there with it. Well, they gonna sit there with egg on their face, because I'm gonna tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. When you are sitting on the wrong side of history, it will tell on you every time. It will tell on you every time. I grew up in the great state of Virginia. I grew up on Jeff Davis Highway. Jeff Davis was a traitor to this country. He was an anarchist. He was a slave owner. He fought tooth and nail for the Confederacy. They've renamed that. Now Thomas Dales, where I went to high school, it was a governor of Virginia who was a racist and a slave owner. That is now in the legislature to rename the high school. So in Virginia, which used to be the deepest of the red states, the deepest, but the demographics have changed in Virginia. The demographics are changing in North Carolina. The demographics are changing in Tijuana. So as hard as you fight, dear white people, change is coming. And Trump will be dead one day, and your children are marrying people of color. You have to steal and lie for your opinion to matter. White people are only 7% of the world's population. So you continue to fight. But when your leader is wrong, because your leader's not fighting for you to keep your whiteness. He wants to keep his richness for his family. So you lost in that fight. So when everything has went past you, and I'm gonna do the wrap up in a minute. When everything has went past you and you're still poor, which is still going to be, y'all shit bricks when them food stamps was cut off. They thought all the black people was going to shit bricks, but when the white people started calling them the people, oh no, you realize the plurality of people on social services are white people. I spent 20 years working at HUD. You realize that most people on Section 8 are white people, and I'm not making a racist or an inflammatory statement. I am stating facts. And so they can continue to vote against their best interest, but when they die, they're older. The white population are older. The white women are not having babies at the rate of women of color. We have to remember that the state of paternal health care for women of color is terrible. It's that of a third world country. They don't care. The doctors don't care. They don't want us to procreate. They don't want us to have babies. But we are still having Taquans and Takeshas and little Marias. They are coming. They are coming. And now you've made them mad because you're deporting. You had them on your side, but now you're deporting their cousins. So you're raising a whole generation of people to hate your party. So with that said, good luck, dear white people, because we're still making movies, we're still making music. We are the culture. You maybe live in the White House, but the culture moves the world. Just like, Kendrick Lamar had the most viewed halftime show in the history of the Super Bowl. And that was no mistake. And he let you know they are not like us. Not like us. Beyonce took their country best album, and she won best album of the year. Hats off. My cowboy hat on. I told people, I said that is her game plan. Shabuzi has been on the country charts for the last year. Tanner Adele has been on the country charts for the last year. So it starts culturally, then it moves on up. So y'all can steal what you want. It's gonna happen, whether you like it or not. And Beyonce, thank you, sister. You have done it. Thank you, Tanner Adele. Thank you, Shabuzi. A white motherfucker ain't win a country category this year. Good luck. You think about that. Look at the Oscars. You know what I'm saying? A beautiful black film is nominated for movie Oscar, film of the year. You have what's her name from Wicked?
Cynthia Erivo.
Best actress. You have my man, dark skinned cat from Philly. What's his name? Married to the Spanish man. What's his name?
Coleman Domingo.
Coleman Domingo. He's nominated for best actor. And the show itself is produced by my friend Stephen Hill. Black shit. They have yet to understand, you might be in the White House, but that's a slither. That's a slither, because culture and life will move on past you. Your kids are listening to Kendrick Lamar. Your kids are understanding what you don't understand. So good luck. Anyway, with all that said, we have reached 1:30. We made it. We have made it. Professor Solomon, thank you so much for the
Thank you all. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. And continue watching. Bring your friends along. And thank you for making me feel better. because I was like, I feel the need to have to do something. I just don't know what it is, and I'm gonna be honest. I just don't trust white people anymore. So that's on me. I gotta kind of get past that and move on and think about the history of the baby. I mean, the future of the babies and stuff like that. Malcolm, I had to pull you out of the basement. Continue to enjoy your time off. If you need me to host Wednesday, let me know. I'll let your boy. So my lovely co-host, the Vanna Black of podcast. Thank you for all that you do. Hopefully, I made this week very simple for you. I didn't ask for, he always jokes and says, "Remember that little thing? How I do stuff like that thing I wrote on a napkin 2 weeks ago. Where is that at?"
Right. I'm on top of that, Rose.
I want it, Rose. Right, Malcolm. I'll be like, I'll call on Thursday night. Can we revamp the graphics for tomorrow's show? What? And he'll say, "Excuse me." That's how that goes. Malcolm, continue, please, to enjoy your time off and play. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for joining us each and every Saturday here for the Saturday Sit Down with your man Gregory Talented, Mr. Drayton. Tomorrow, please join Devon at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Blurred Council. Malcolm, you are not back on Monday, correct?
No, I'm not.
So now there is some episodes out there. Malcolm and Devon, bitch. Or you heard that Mondays at noon. They're on a small hiatus until Malcolm decides he wants to come back to work. Tuesdays, as we discussed before, catch my man Swag in the Swag Suite Tuesdays. We can find out what your child's watching. Are the straights okay? Which we know they're not. And he does a funny thing with his mom and the tech. I know your segments, but I know my own. And the Tuesday Tech segments is fantastic. Also, again on Wednesday when he decides to come back to work. And Malcolm on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where he will enlighten you about philosophical things, and he will philosophize and he's on a break because he hasn't inundated me with books to read. I'm so happy. Don't have time, right? Thursday, we didn't mention my man Cream Diggler. Do you see the faces of Cream Diggler in the Diggler Digest Thursday nights for your blue and pleasure out of the great state of Texas? Woo-wee! It's 7 p.m. Thursday nights. Don't come there if you're gonna be on that pound. You better not be eating. I got so much. Better not.
But you can do your makeup.
Makeup. And you can eat on other people's show, but you just won't eat on this show. That's what you get when you're the boss. I am the boss. Saturdays between 12 and 1:30. So, y'all lucky I wasn't hungry today. Why I'm hungry now. So, just hold on to your faith. Hold on to your hats. Calvin Collins, I see you. Thank you guys for all your comments over there. We wanted to give some time to our guests today, but you guys that make the comments and a part of the M3 family are always the unseen guests sitting in the seats. If you want to participate in Patreon, please do so. But in www.patreon.com/MailMediaMind, right after this show, we give you about 15-20 minutes of a little extra going on there. And we usually talk about upcoming things and things that we have going on here for you, and get access to our what do you call it? Adult content, maybe. Yeah.
Mature.
Yeah. Somebody asked me, was Malcolm? Hey, Malcolm is off. Is he okay? He's fine. He's posting porn like 100 miles an hour. Oh, there's nothing wrong with Malcolm. He's posting porn like nobody's business. Because when he said he wasn't going to do a show,
we all cope in different ways.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When he said he wanted to take some time off, I got worried. Then I saw the porn. I was like, "Oh fuck, he's fine, this motherfucker." He's like posting porn. Good lord. So he'll be back. And then look, if you're into podcasting, check him the M3 Bearcast Tuesdays. I think you change the graphics every Tuesday that he feels like doing it. But he has a lot
we'll get back to that soon.
Yep,
I don't know when yet, but yeah.
And then I have my first season out there of me, the G Spot, hosted by your man Gregory the Talented Straight. I'm so proud of that first season. Second season coming in the spring. Check it out. Professor Solomon, I want to call you Dr. I know you hate that. So if you have if you want them to contact you on social media or anything, so that I know probably not. You're like, no.
I'm good.
Right. Keep them more than
you can pass the information on to me.
I am right. So if you would like to get a question to our esteemed guest, Professor Solomon, I will pass it to him.
Yes, if you just pass it on, I'd be happy to answer any questions or anything.
Y'all want y'all to send him ass and dick pics. He's not.
I don't.
He won't raise like that now.
I'm old. But you can court me, but don't send that right there.
Yeah.
You got to do it the right way.
Right, the right way. That's
Y'all
what
out
it's
here,
about.
y'all out here coding. All right. So with that said, we go out and enjoy your Saturday and make somebody else happy and make it a good day. Thank you for choosing M3 for your internet entertainment. My name is Gregory the Talented, Mr. Drayton, Alice's baby boy, and I will be back. Hopefully, praise God, if the water don't rise, the creek don't rise, to entertain you next Saturday. Check me out on Instagram, the Talented Mr. Drayton. Follow me, and if I look, I'll follow you back. Okay. Like to say a special shout out to my streaming team down here. Y'all are really watching. We had 155 people. Thank you so much for doing that. All people on Twitch. What else? Where are we? Instagram, Facebook. Hey, Facebook,
and Twitter. Fuck you, Elon.
I want to remove X from my show. I don't want to.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
I don't want it. I'm gonna seek it. I'm gonna talk to the boss down here and see can I remove myself. I mean, you can keep everybody else's show. I just don't want to do my show. Fuck him. He don't deserve my talents. All right, join us on Patreon. Let's go. Thank you.
Join us every weekend, oh, the vibe's so fine. Saturday, sit down with Mr. Drayton. Shine!
Grab a friend.
Hola, hey. Good show, guys. I always think this shit gonna be bad. I'm like, oh.
No, it's good. It's good. I did have as you were talking about recommending a book.
See,
I just finished one that I think would be great for us to discuss. This is
God Know Me as Black, The Journey to Liberation. Yeah, send me that, bro. Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Did you post it in the VIP room?
I will.
Okay.
What I'm doing is
guys there want to read it too.
So one of the things I'm doing is I actually, when I was reading the book, I read it on audio. I would do a screen recording, and maybe I listen to about 30 minutes to an hour at a time, and then I uploaded it to Telegram. And then if I decide like it's a book that I want to do as a book club, I actually put it into Descript and made a transcript of it. So like you could actually physically read it because, it makes a transcript. Like there's a link to the actual text if you want to read it as text, but it also plays as a video.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I've been trying to fill that Friday night slot for like a million years. Do you want to do just like a Friday night book club and we record like 15 minutes and discussing the book we're going to read, just 15 minutes. And
you can build it up. Like I said, right now I'm having difficulty just getting the books, right? It takes me about 2 weeks to read a book. And I don't want to recommend a book for us to do until I finished it. But this one, I think.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, we can start with books we already read.
Yeah.
Right. So books.
I was saying like this one would be a good one to start. And it's mainly a book of essays. It's about 10 essays, and we could select portions of it. That would be fine because you could break it down into like maybe doing 2 or 3 essays per show, or maybe just 2 per show. 'Cause each of them is about 30 minutes long.
What I find is that and this is what I found, that the more we're on air, the more exposure we get.
Yeah.
So, that's just.
I think it is a good idea, especially if I would love to do a book club show. Yeah, I mean that's I'm working on it. And I think like this would be a good first step.
Right, we just do 15, 20 minutes pre-recorded.
Yeah, so like if we start this week, I'm going to put this into. So what I could do is, I'll put this
Because
in the.
somebody hit me up. Well, somebody hit us up from South Africa,
Mhm.
and they said to me, you guys are fantastic there. No, you guys are mature Black voices, not talking about dating and fucking those things. You always bring knowledge and insight. I was like, that makes you feel good. That makes, and then he named the host. I'm like, you really watched? He was like, oh yeah, I love Tuesdays. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because, from our history of doing this is that the repressive nature of some of the laws against homosexuality in Africa, like we are maybe some of the only outlets for them, or internet entertainment, right? Like there's nothing
and then
that's publicly allowed.
Right, and then because we're not obviously and stuff. I was like, okay, well there you
I
go.
just put that in there. So I could post a chapter per day in the VIP room.
Okay.
Give people time to read it. But I mean, I think it has to just be like word of mouth, or like check in the morning.
Right. So if you don't mind, I think like when I get off on Thursday night, like we can record at like
Okay.
8:30 Thursday night. You okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, because I need to. We got to get that Friday night full. We got to get 5 days. We got to get 7 days of programming, and then I would like to do some things. We have a show we have programming back to back. I want to, start like run a rerun of a show in front of me. Then instead of one show a day, you got to kind of keep it something. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Because the more content we have, the more viewership we have, and it's amazing. Like, so our just based on the numbers, we went from 2 days a week when me and Malcolm was doing it to now we have 4 days of programming. Malcolm increased our viewership 1,000%.
Jeez.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was a big difference. I'm going to do whatever I can to interact with people more. Like I'm going to start going in the inboxes.
I know this is not your bag. Don't.
It's not, but I
Listen,
can always get
if
stronger as things. Like we were just talking about, like with the young folks can't talk to people. Like we can sometimes get out of our comfort zone.
Okay.
And I'll let you know, like, if it's too much.
They were giving us shit for meeting up, so I milked it.
What?
Like the petty bitch I am.
See what these kids on the
And I
ground
got
are
a gift
talking
from
about.
me in real time.
Okay.
Oh, that's cute little.
Okay, I'm gonna see.
Yeah, so petty. It's crazy. So, hey, what are you doing today?
I am going to be doing some rearranging. I finally decided since Swag Bag is kind of picking up again, I really want to get my 3D printer up and running. So
you haven't yet?
No, it's still out in the garage. Well, I brought it into the house and I'm trying to. This is what's really weird. So there's a printer in this corner, so that's where the 3D printer is going to go. But then I'm going to move the printer that's over there over here. But then that means I have to move this bookcase out of here. So it's going to be a whole lot of rearranging today. Plus, this is what I'm excited about. So I think I told you I've been experimenting with like my own fabric with my logo on it. And those swatches came in today. So as soon as I get off of here, I'm going to go run to the mailbox and pull it out and see what it looks like. And if it looks like I'm going to be really excited because it's going to look really good.
Oh, now I want fabric. I'm such a hater. Oh, God. So
I just can't wait to see how it turned out because it looks good. It looks good like when you put it together, it looks really good, but it's like, but until
I don't
actually
have a logo. I do. Wait a minute. I don't like that one that I use for the podcast is good for the podcast, but it's a little scary. I want something a little, it's a little scary.
Right.
I am just housekeeping note. I am working on Fiverr this week. I've been a little busy, but I am doing that. Trying to find somebody to kind of revamp these borders and stuff. So I'll let you know, Malcolm.
Okay.
Have we figured out how to access the money?
Yeah, I can just pay for it and then I can read.
Yeah, no, you because I don't know. I don't know how. So it's all good.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Like I have my account connected to it, so like basically I can pay from my account and then I could deduct it from, have it transferred from that account to my account to reimburse myself.
So so I need to ask while we're on Patreon, is there anything going on in the summer, like anything that we can connect a M3 thing to?
Last you had floated the idea of a cabin trip, but that was in May.
Yeah, that's me and Swag's birthday, but I don't know if
Okay.
might not be. I don't know. I don't know about him, but I don't know if I want to because it's work. I don't know. If
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you also floated the idea of doing something in August. That would probably be the soonest that we should do anything.
August, September.
Yeah. Because you got to give people about 6 months lead up. So
I told Swag I'm only doing 16 episodes this season, so I'm on number 6. So on my, because I'm going to give a month between seasons.
Okay.
So I would, so we can do housekeeping things like advertising and
yeah, I need to maybe consider doing that myself.
Yeah, I can do other people's podcasts.
That's really the best way to.
People are watching. Like that's the thing. Like people are, and it's incredible to be online and to be out in public and like, look, I know it's Dr. Street. And wow, I'm like, go bitch.
Yeah.
Go bitch.
Right.
There you go.
So I mean,
here, the one thing I hear, like, I give you shit about your show all the time, but I always hear, Malcolm really helped me with such and such, or it really. So keep doing what you're doing, bro. There's an audience, there's a listening ear. People, you are helping motherfuckers. Motherfuckers say, he was depressed, he was down and out, he's it's in our inbox and things like Malcolm really helped me. He said, and I tune in whenever I get a chance. He was like, but I for whatever reason, with the problem I had, I have to look at it totally differently. And I was like, wow, I will let him know.
Yeah.
That, he was like, thank you. There are not many Black queer voices out there. And, it's just like, okay.
No, I appreciate it. I think this book here is pretty amazing. As far as like talking about spirituality and Blackness.
Okay.
Because a lot of the things that I read about spirituality are very, very white, or they're imported from, China, via Buddhism, Buddhism is great. Don't get me wrong, but you almost never hear about African spirituality, and there is a rich history there that just basically gets called blanketly evil, and that's clearly the case because of colonialism. And it's funny, I'm reading another book right now. It's a fiction group of short stories. Kind of touches on the same idea that we, even to this day, hold on to. But obviously, spiritual practices are just, organically, come up from the situations that people find themselves in. And if these are the, spiritual practices of our ancestors, what does it say that we consider them evil? There's like literally a part of ourselves, even if you don't believe in them, because I don't believe any of them are true in the real sense of the word, but I'm just saying, like, culturally, if we, relegate them to black magic, literally demon worship or things like that, which we do, even if we don't believe in demon worship, we understand that this is, if you say voodoo, you immediately conjure up someone cursing someone, which is not what voodoo is. That is something, but it is a bastardized idea of it. And I think this book just kind of, welcomes the idea of interrogating where the fuck that came from. And, I think we know where it came from, but
thank you to the person that's watching us on Paragraph on what is it? Patreon. But we're gonna go ahead and end this. All right.